I got it under control. They're gonna Okay, I'll go ahead and call the Finance Committee to order for the 23rd of September. Just a little after 5, we'll call roll.
Yes, sir. Councilman Jones.
Here.
Gwaltney.
Here.
Allamon.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
Perfect. We have a full house, 5 people. And we have the Finance Committee meetings of September 9th. We have a motion to dispense with the reading and approve them as distributed.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Walton, and second by Mrs. Smith. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's 5-0. That passes. All right, old business 2006-23. I have been wanting to say this. The hay is in the barn. Okay, the committee, and this goes back a long way. You can see, this has been in our committee a long time, and goes back to the ad hoc committee, doing a lot of work and a lot of research, and came up with a recommendation. We, looked at all the options. So we've done all we can. It's in the voters' hands now. So thank you for the work that everyone has done thus far, and we'll see how, where we go from here. But we'll carry it over for further action unless someone has something under that item they would like to. Yes.
Council needs to be aware that on October 1st at noon, we have to meet the canvass to return.
That's right. That's right. So we need to just make sure we have a quorum.
We have to be there for them to call out the results, certify the results in the roll. We have to meet.
Yeah, we'll need
on
to
that
be
day.
in chamber.
At what time?
Do we want to set that?
No, okay.
Yeah. So everybody, please get that on your calendar.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday, October 1. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
We're getting sworn into the Kiwanis board.
All right, so we'll carry that over without objection, and we'll see everybody on October 1. Okay. Moving along here, 02-08-24, the bid date was held on September the 9th for Kenilworth stormwater improvements. We had 4 bidders, and you have the recommendation, Mr. Smith of Southeast Seal Coat.
That's correct. Yeah, we had 4 bidders. They range from 667,000 all the way up to 1.3 million. We have the money budgeted in Fund 26 this year, so we're ready to go as soon as October
questions of,
So you don't need a resolution next meeting?
I don't think we do at this point.
Do we always go low bid on things like that?
Most responsive.
Responsible and responsive.
Yeah, just a,
It's not always was.
recognize Southeast Seal Coat as the lowest responsible and responsible bidder at 667, 289, right?
Yeah.
Make a motion
So
for
when do
approval.
you need it?
Do we drop it?
What?
Or you drop it?
Do we need, no, I'm asking the question. Do we need to drop it?
Are you trying to award the bid? You need a
Yeah,
resolution?
then he needs to.
For the mayor's under contract.
Yep.
No, to award the bid.
So it would be the first Monday in October,
Okay, just send me
the first council.
So we will need a resolution to award the bid.
I make a motion to award the bid to Southeastern Seal Coating for 667,000 $289. Thank you.
Will it be on the agenda for the
$667,289.
It'll be on the agenda for the 30th.
You gotta award a bid by resolution, determine the lowest responsible bidder. You need to do that at the next meeting?
Yes, 30th.
Okay, well, I got it.
Okay.
All right, I would second Andy's motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Okay, any questions on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0. All right, new business. I sent all this out today. 01/09/24, consideration of budget amendments for Department of Engineering, Zoning, and Public Works. There were 3 for Cale, and then 2 for Berkeley. And, there's no new money on those. I'll be happy to go over that with you as to what those are.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question, because I have I have 4 in one.
Okay, hold on. Here it is, okay. Item O1.
Please tell me what,
Okay, so I have, the first one is, transfer 22,250 from workers' comp to contractual services. I've got 12,500 from wages to park activity for flag football. I've got transfer 11,989 from wages to building grounds maintenance. So those were all Berkeley's. Did I get them all?
That's the 3.
Or have we handled the last one already? Are you thinking Berkeley or are you?
Yeah, I was going back there, I think that's it for me.
Yeah, that's the 3, it's on the email for him.
Okay, and then the other 2 were, 28,100 from Delcris sidewalk to Reese Street sidewalks. And $400 from 01/13/530 to 01/13/530 I can't remember what those were.
Those are yours too, the 400? Okay.
Yep.
What was that one for?
It's for uniform.
Mr. Kendrick,
Uniform.
I just forwarded it to you.
Do I need to forward you this email, Mike?
I think
Yeah,
Andy
somebody
just sent,
does.
Andy just did,
I
I
just
think.
sent it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so those are the 5 transfers. Again, no new money, just transfers
Okay,
between all those.
I would make a motion to approve the 3 budget amendments for Berkeley and the 2 budget amendments for Cale, so 5 total.
Second.
Okay, Mrs. Smith, second by Mr. Gwaltney. All right, any other questions? All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? It's 5-0, that passes. Okay, the last one is 020924, request permission to donate temporary construction easement for Jefferson County sanitary sewer line. And I've sent details on this as well. This is, Kale's requesting to accept the donation without the appraisal for those two addresses that are within that document that were, and I believe we have someone here.
Matt's here.
That's me, Matt.
Okay, perfect. Oh, Matt, okay. So Matt is here to answer any questions that anyone might have. You want to add to what we're talking about?
Yeah, so Matt's got a little slide deck that he wanted to
Oh,
walk
good.
through. I think,
Sure.
Just to kind of explain the project. It's gonna be an impact in West Homewood over the next couple of years, so
Okay.
probably good for you to just hear about it.
Okay.
You know what's coming.
Also, just so you guys know, the donation of the temporary construction easement is set forth in the unification agreement in Article 1C. For any future projects, you're required to give us the easement, and it's temporary. We use it to build the sewer line.
Okay.
And give it back when we're done. So who's advancing the slide?
Brian, he's back there.
Okay, so, this job hopefully will be coming in August of '25. And that hopefully depends on right-of-way acquisition from the United States Post Office, which is not going quickly. Next slide.
Really?
We know that. We
Real-
know all about that.
Right.
We know.
If
all
you wanna
about
come visit, I'm in Hollywood right now finishing up that job too.
Thank you.
So this job is gonna be about $6 million. We're upsizing pipe to increase capacity going through West Homewood. And it will potentially eliminate 4 two-year, 24-hour design storms that show over 500,000 gallon sewer overflow. So necessary work. And essentially it goes from Snow Drive, where the post office and FedEx is, and follows the creek through where the baseball fields and the lacrosse field is, and goes back up into, right before you get into the neighborhood back there. It used to go through the neighborhood, and then we found a pool in the way that's right on top of us. So we made our lines bigger, got the same bang for the buck without messing with all your homeowners. Next slide. That's the general path. So this is post office right here, I believe. And then we're following the creek all the way back through the parking lot of the football field, past the baseball fields, and stopping just shy of the neighborhood. And when we get all the right of way, we can talk about when we start. This is a 1-year project, and we have planned for a 120-day administrative period to secure all of the pipes and necessary accoutrement to get it done. So if there's a time of the year that's better for the general consensus, we can work with you.
Football season.
Well, I was about to say, not during football season.
So we met out and talked about the baseball fields the other day. You weren't there, but Hazen Sawyer was there.
Right.
And Dr. Barnes was there from the schools.
Okay.
And we talked about the parking lot and how we were gonna miss that during football season.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so it wasn't an issue. It
Okay.
wouldn't be a thing.
And then the baseball fields, it doesn't look like it's actually gonna actually interfere with any of the actual fields. It's just kind of over there on the out.
Right.
side.
But we told Hazen when the baseball fields could be out of service and when the football field could be out of service.
Right, we can make it work. We made it
Okay.
work
Yeah.
for Mountain Brook, we can make it work for
Okay.
you guys.
Okay.
This is great.
Next slide. So this is temporary construction easement that we're talking about, and you see your first impact over here when we get into the parking lot. Next slide. And all this is when you dig a deep hole, right, you may have 10, 20 feet of room that's dedicated to you to do this work. But when you start putting dirt other places, that's temporary construction easement. Then it's all finished back and it looks better than it did before. It's, typically we don't do this, but we're starting to do it now. We just go build things and do the best we can. But that's what we're talking about, is the temporary construction easement that goes through your properties here and here. And like I said, if anybody wants a copy of the unification agreement to look at 1C, I believe it is, I sent it to Kale, and it's pretty clear. Next slide. And this is just showing road closures on Snow Drive when we're there. And as we get closer, I'll meet with Kale, get a full set of plans so that whoever wants them can have them. And if you guys want to do a meeting before we get started, I'm fine with that as well. That's it.
Perfect.
So this,
Kind of. I got some advice from Kale on it, and I think we're where we need to be. The
Okay,
right-of-way
so I called
documents are
Mike
being
and-
submitted to them.
Hire him.
yeah, Mike did it all for us when we were dealing with the,
What now?
about the
Hire you
post
to get the
office,
post office.
getting.
They were
help
talking
with the
about
post
how you
office.
enjoy working with the post office on right-of-way.
You have to deal with the
I'm the
postmaster
only
general.
one that's been successful.
And I was going to say, that's why we said he needs to talk to you, because you did a good job with it. Okay, so the motion is actually to, accept or allow the permission to donate the temporary construction easement for the project.
So
You know-
moved.
No, I just.
Is that right?
Oh,
That's what it says. Because the item is request permission to donate a temporary construction easement for Jefferson County sanitary sewer work. So I assume the motion is to approve them having the temporary construction easement.
Accept the
Right,
donation.
to accept-
Accept the donation.
Accept the TCE without
Yeah,
appraisal.
okay,
Right.
all right. Without the appraisal, yes. So moved, what he said.
Second.
Smith and Waltney. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? That passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Matt.
That's easy.
Okay, any other items that we need to work on? All right, we're adjourned.
Counselor Gwaltney.
Here.
Wolverton. Here. Jones.
Here.
Nelms. Harden.
here.
4.
Thank you, Mr. Segers.
Yes, sir.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to dismiss the reading and approve the minutes from the Public Safety Committee meeting from September 9th.
Second.
Second by Counselor Harden. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it 4-0. There's no items under old business. Moving to new business, 030924, request for consideration of a crosswalk at Linden Avenue and Reese Street. Counselor Andrews.
Yes, so we have a beautiful new crosswalk, we have a beautiful new sidewalk. You guys, I ran through there last week. Y'all have not been running very much, so that was the first time I've been through there in a while. And the sidewalk is amazing, the lighting looks amazing. And there's a great crosswalk going across Reese by Caveat, but there is not a crosswalk. Yeah, thank you, Kel, thank you, Wyatt. There's not a crosswalk going across Linden, and the idea of the whole project from your, not to speak for you, but the idea for the whole project was to connect downtown to that corridor of downtown, and so that crosswalk is just another piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
That's it?
I agree. Very straightforward.
6 years.
There will need to be some sidewalk work done, and we'll have a little bit more money, or we'll have some money after October 1st.
Are there any other questions from the committee or participants in the room? Seeing none? Is anyone interested in making a motion? Motion by Counselor Wolverton,
Second.
second by Counselor Harden. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. The ayes have it 4-0. Anyone with that, public safety is adjourned.
Yep.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Special issues, Counselor Smith,
Here.
Gear,
Here.
Alamon,
Here.
Sims,
Here.
and Andrews.
Here.
All right, we've got all five. Can I get a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes from our previous meeting and approve them, please?
So moved.
Second.
All right, motion from Ms. Gear, second from Mr. Sims. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0, those are approved. Okay. Old business 180424, request to transfer all future sign requests to be handled by the Board of Zoning and Adjustments from Counselors Jones and Elmont. And
So exciting.
we have this lovely new document
Love it.
that will, Carlos and Jennifer and I met with Kale and Sherry and Hunter and
Emily and Mike.
Emily and Mike Perkle from,
Mike
from the
Perkle,
BZA.
that's
So, they have gone through the sign ordinance and made a lot of revisions, and we met to discuss those. And we had some things that we kind of adjusted and changed and talked about. But the most exciting thing
Page 13.
is page 13, where the entire appeal to city council section has been removed, X'd out, gone.
Mr. Jones, we've been talking about this for so long.
So, and I will say, thanks to y'all staff, because it really, really, really looks good. It's been very thoughtful. There was a lot of work and thought put into it and effort. And it is easier to read, easier to deal with, and we are sure that the BZA will take care of business.
Uphold our ordinance.
They will uphold the ordinance. And in terms of timeline, Kale, his plan is it has to go to the planning commission, and I believe in their November meeting, correct? And then it will come back to us for the public hearing in December. And with the hope that this would go online in terms of the BZA being the body to hear the sign variance requests by January 1 of 2025.
Amazing.
Look at you. Look at you.
Amazing.
Will it go through committee like P&D? Will it go through P&D like any item from the planning commission does?
It's gonna be a revision to the zoning ordinance.
Okay, so yeah,
it's gonna be-
okay.
Yeah, yeah, so they'll hear it, and then it'll come through P&D and then out to a public hearing. I don't know if
Before
the
we're out of
timing,
office.
I'm not sure the timing's gonna work out for January 1, just based on how long we have to set the public hearing out.
So they'll meet, the planning commission will meet the first Tuesday in November.
Okay.
And so then.
Oh, on election day, that'll be fun.
Oh,
No,
It's usually.
no, we can't make
the
that agenda.
holidays are in there, so
It's
it
already
might
set.
it might be February. It's still fine.
Yeah. It's still, we know it's gonna get done.
It's gonna bring a tear
Yeah,
to my
and
eye when we
so,
vote to approve this
Mike,
thing.
how long of a period do we have to notice a zoning ordinance change public hearing?
For us,
Uh-huh.
you have to publish it 2 times and wait more than 15 days after the last publication.
Okay, so we might be able to get it in December, but we'll just have to wait and see.
You won't be able to.
No, okay, never mind. So it'll probably go online in mid-January.
That's fine.
But still, that's awesome. So, thank you to the fourth floor for handling that. We are very grateful, and we are excited to make that change happen. So that is that, and so I think, really, there's no reason for that to stay here because it's gonna go to planning commission and then go to, P&D. So I think it would just be, a motion here would be to drop it.
Move to drop.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, motion from Ms. Andrus, second from Mr. Allemont. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that would be dropped, and we will look forward to hearing from the planning commission. Okay, new business item 040924, request for consideration of a sign variance
That's so
just
funny.
in time, at 2825 Central Avenue from Crawford Square Real Estate, Alpha Graphic Signs, and Mr. Pugh.
Yes.
Oh, right, yes.
Temporary signs are not permitted currently in the downtown district, by our current ordinance. This sign, I was not even aware it was there, but it's a non-compliant sign. It's even in the right of way. It's all kind of weird. But, okay, good,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll
So,
get you-
so a new company has apparently bought this property, and they wanna put up a sign similar to it. So if you want to.
But in a different location?
I don't think they bought it.
It'll have to go within the property lines if it is approved, because a sign right away.
Yeah, no, or, yeah, it doesn't need to be in the right of way.
Or in the district.
Quick question, so you acquired the property from Alabama Power?
No, this is the sign guy. I
Yes.
believe.
Oh, you're the sign guy.
Yeah, he's Alpha Graphics,
Never mind.
yes.
I would like to have an answer to that question.
Okay, so you tell, if you don't mind coming and signing in, with Mr. Sechrist?
I'll take care of that, man, thank you.
Okay. All right, so, tell us what y'all are wanting to do.
Excuse me.
So this is what Crawford Square does
Okay,
for their temporary signs. It basically be two of these. One to replace that
oh, so
one,
y'all wanna replace one sign with two?
and then one to place there.
I thought we don't allow temporary signs.
Not in the district.
Not in the downtown district. It's not a permitted sign.
Okay, so it's not permitted and they wanna do two of them, essentially, right?
That's right.
So the motion is just to send it out of committee without a recommendation pending the public hearing that we should also set for Mike. Would that need to be on October this summer, or could we do it for September 30th? It's probably too soon to
You
do.
can't do it because it won't say that you want to publish it for September.
Right, okay, so we probably
First
need,
day in October.
so what that would be nine,
kind of
I
sign
mean,
you wanna
10.
put out?
7? Monday the 7th?
Is that Monday the 7th?
10/14.
10/14, sorry.
Yeah, cause that would be
I always get it
committees.
backwards, sorry.
Yeah, committees would be on the first. Okay, so, the correct motion would be to send it out of committee without a recommendation pending the public hearing, which we need to set for, Monday night, October 14th.
So moved.
Second.
Before we vote on it, just one question.
Sure.
Do we have, those graphics? I just wanna see what.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably be a really good idea for you to send those,
Yeah.
if you could send them to Wyatt and then he can send them out to all of us. That would be great. Okay, so we have a motion to send it out without recommendation pending the public hearing, which we are also setting for, October the 14th. Motion from Ms. Anderson, second from Mr. Alman, or backwards? Okay, motion from Mr. Alman, second from Ms. Anderson.
From Gear.
Okay, okay, sorry, y'all, I just completely messed that all up. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
5-0, that is, going to, so that'll be a public hearing set for Monday, October the 14th. If you don't mind, get your graphics to, Wyatt, he can get them all out to us, and then somebody will need to be here. It would probably be a good idea to bring whoever is the actual owner. Yeah, so they can actually explain their thoughts. But yeah, so that, it's 6 o'clock next door in the council chamber room.
Perfect.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, does anyone else have anything? If not, we are adjourned.
September 23rd, 2024. Counselor Andrews.
Here.
Walden.
Here.
Wolverton.
Here.
Sims.
Here.
And Nelsonville.
Okay, so we got 4, and we have a quorum. I'll begin with a motion to dispense the reading and approve the minutes from September 9th.
Second.
Wolverton, Gwaltney, with the second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that passes 4-0. Okay, as per the last meeting, I'm gonna hand this agenda over to Counselor Gwaltney.
Thank you, Councilor Andrews. Under old business 290824, request for consideration to de-annex property at 2305 Montevallo Road, coming from Montevallo Partners and President White. Item was carried over last meeting for additional details. How would we like to pick this one up? Do y'all want to provide a report, or shall we? So to catch everybody up, this is the piece of property that sits behind the Oil Change Express that we had left last time, discussing whether the city wanted to receive some sort of payment. Although I don't believe there was really any tax base associated with this as it currently was, because it's not developed. There might have been a moderate amount, but we left it there last time. There was some discussion of the easement, but I believe we wanted to decouple that from the discussion because of sewer main issues, right? So we'll leave that. I think we'll leave that be. So we're primarily just discussing approving de-annexing this property, and if any payment is requested.
Mr. Courtney, can I point on that?
Yes, sir.
I think it is ludicrous to decouple it.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to clarify too, we're not
Yeah.
decoupling the de-annexation, just
Yeah.
decoupling the
It is
sale.
foolish.
The sale, I'm
So,
sorry, I
yeah, the
misspoke.
de-annexation would be that, the
Yeah.
alley and the.
That, yeah, my bad. I misspoke.
That's okay.
I've had the discussions with Charlie Beavers and her about that.
So we would still de-annex it, correct? But it would not be a sale of the right of way. Did I put that correctly? Okay, my apologies for misspeaking. Councilor Walker.
I would think that we'd just want to sell all of it and clean slate.
We don't own the other property.
The right of
It's just
way?
located, well, we own the right of way, we don't own the property they wanna de-annex, they own that, but it's located in Homewood. But it makes no sense to me to de-annex property and then maintain an easement that goes nowhere.
That's what I'm trying, yeah, sorry.
So,
That's what I'm.
you can handle it a number of different ways, but it needs to be handled simultaneously.
But once we de-annex the property out of the city of Homewood, would it not be up to the developer whether,
Well, you de-annexing the property, not the right of way.
property,
No,
right?
we could de-annex the right of way too, couldn't we? Couldn't we do both?
Yeah, if you wanna buy it, I wouldn't, I mean, there's gonna have to be some consideration paid, in my opinion, if I'm negotiating.
So I think, and I'm on this committee, so I don't know why I hesitate to speak, but, so again, just to try to rehash where we were from 2 weeks ago. So the property that's being de-annexed is currently zoned institutional, so we have not in the past collected property tax revenue for that reason. So it has future value if the zoning would change. However, you know, that's one consideration. The other consideration is the easement or the right of way which accesses the property. I kind of, to Mr. Kendrick's point, and not to speak for him, but I do think that we need to handle them at the same time, because if the property is de-annexed, and then that's kind of our leverage in having them deal with the right of way now, because in the future, if it's no longer in Homewood and we're maintaining that road, then I don't see why they have any reason or to proceed with buying it at that point if they've already got their property.
Just to clarify, there's no road that's being maintained. It is basically just the easement the power line sits on, and I believe there's some Jefferson County.
It is a right of way that we own.
Yeah, but there's not a road there that we're maintaining.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's a liability. I mean, it's our responsibility.
No, actually,
Yeah.
we have a recorded right-of-way use agreement with you guys
Okay.
that makes it the developer's
We did that to
responsibility.
accommodate your development.
Yeah, so y'all
we never
shouldn't have to come
anticipated
in
we
and
would
do
at the same
anything.
time de-annex the property.
And Mike Mr. Kendrick may correct me, but I think once y'all de-annex it, it's no longer your responsibility. Listen, I mean, I get where y'all are coming from, totally.
Listen,
I'm just
why would
asking
we
if
wanna
we.
de-annex it other than sell it to you? Same-
Well, I'm.
You accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, and maybe a sale is appropriate, we just need to look at whether the developer can own it, or whether it's better remains as a, right-of-way owned by Jefferson County or owned by Mountain Brook. And if the developer could own it, I'm sure they would, but my understanding is there may be a sewer main that runs under it, preventing us from owning it. So if this is just making sure that.
You currently have, because you came to us and asked us to accommodate the development by giving you a right-of-way right to use that property, so I assume you'd use it for the same purposes, whatever's under it.
Yeah, but Jefferson County will let you have an easement or a right-of-way use agreement where sometimes they won't let you own in fee simple if they have a main. I just want some time to run down whether we can own it. If this is about payment, I think that the developer can still make a payment to the city for de-annexing the parcel and the right-of-way. I think the payment can still happen now. Nobody's trying to delay the payment. It's just whether or not we wanna have this surplus property sale tied up with the de-annexation.
I guess maybe I was confused, but I thought part of pushing it to this evening was so that there could be some discussion about a cost and a price, and it sounds like we're kind of exactly where we were a couple weeks ago.
I think the challenge that exists is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kendrick, is I don't know that there's a way to value the property. Well,
There's a
today.
way to value property. Certainly there is. Every property has value, a lot of it's based on what you think it's worth.
But the parcel is not ours, it's just the taxes.
Right.
Future taxes, as you aptly put. Alright, any
And
other?
there's certainly value to you guys de-annexing it, whether we take title to the right of way or whether we leave it in ask it to be annexed into Mountain Brook or ask it to be taken over by Jefferson County. There's certainly value to the developer and you guys agreeing to de-annex the parcel and the right of way just because it creates uniformity. I mean, this parcel was never treated as part of Homewood. I mean, I heard somebody say, it was zoned institutional, and that's correct. It was zoned institutional by the city of Mountain Brook because everybody has always assumed it was in Mountain Brook. Actually, now, I think Hannah left.
But it's not Mountain Brook, or you wouldn't be here.
Right, but, that's my point, is that there's been confusion for over 50 years about whether this parcel was in Mountain Brook or Homewood.
We're not confused.
So there's value to that, and I think the developer's willing to, pay for the benefit it would receive from having this all be, in one parcel, even if we don't go through with the surplus sale at this time, until we can figure out if Mountain Brook is gonna annex it and keep it a public right of way.
Can you figure that out and the attorneys get together and
Well,
make
the first step is to find out if Homewood will de-annex, and then the next step is to go to Jefferson County or Mountain Brook and say, will you leave it as public right of way, or, I thought the point was for Homewood to get rid of that right of way at the same time that it gets rid of the parcel. And I think we're all still on the same page with that. It's just, what's the value, y'all want some, the
If we
city
de-annex
wants
it,
some
goes into the
payment for
county,
that de-annexation.
And then you'd have to annex it into Mountain Brook.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kendrick, I didn't hear you.
If we de-annex it, it would then become part of the county, and you'd have to then annex it into Mountain Brook.
Right, cause we'll have to annex that parcel into Mountain Brook anyway, to make it all contiguous. So we would do that at the same time. But this is step one.
I just recommend you don't divide the steps too far. Because you get too far away from one transaction, it loses its value than the other.
So, to be clear.
Let's come to an agreement about what we're gonna pay for it.
Okay, so.
And we can work it out.
We can find a dollar value that the committee feels good with, and then we can work towards the annexation of both pieces.
Good question to ask.
Is that correct?
We can.
Is that amenable? Okay, so I heard questions from this end of the table.
I
No?
just had a question about, part of my confusion too is just really being able to see what we're talking about. I don't know that I've looked at a survey, for example, and either of the right of way or the piece of property, cause I think that would be beneficial when we're progressing that discussion.
Ms. Ross, can you pull up the GIS, the county GIS tax map, parcel map? 'Cause it'll show kind of the overview of where the.
Do you not have the easement we originally gave you?
Yeah, or we have maps like in Alta that.
There's a map attached to it, and has the yellow, it's
That-
colored
You don't
in
have that?
yellow.
That letter that we wrote has that map attached to it, is that what you're asking?
No, the document where we previously gave you right to use the right of way as a part of your development.
Yeah, that does have that
Well, I
map
can go
attached
get
as
it.
well. Do y'all have the letter we wrote requesting this?
I have not
We
seen
can
it.
put up there?
I mean,
I'll go get it.
that's,
We could, yeah,
That's
pretty.
really helpful to see kind of.
Brian, did you catch what I was talking about with the county GIS map?
But, I mean, I found it, but I'm not finding Jefferson County. It hasn't been the county.
I
Hang on,
can
I'm gonna
send
keep
you a
looking.
link to it, hold on.
Brian, can I come look with you?
Sure.
And just, I know it's obvious to all of us because we've lived with it, the right of way we're talking about is 10 feet wide.
okay.
It's not really a, a
Yeah.
major.
And that's, I mean, that's exactly to the point too. I think it's hard to make decisions when you don't have the
I
full
mean, I'm
picture.
just imagining that it's going along the power lines there, you know. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're the free state of Homewood, right here.
So I guess since
I thought about this last week after the meeting, trying to determine how to estimate future tax value, or future tax value to the city of Homewood, the benefit that we would be foregoing.
$3 million.
I honestly don't understand like an accurate way to calculate that. You know, well, I mean, I don't, you would have to, I mean, we're gonna have city services, if it stays in Homewood, it would go into the equation. So if it is outside of the city of Homewood, we don't have, okay, so here, before I finish my statement, that strip going up to Montevallo Road, that is the current right of way.
okay.
And then.
So between the blue
yeah.
and the dash?
Correct, cause that's Homewood on the left, and that's the city limits between the two cities. Mount Brook on the right. So the parcel that is in question is basically what looks like, you know, the side of Texas right there.
Mm-hmm.
To the dash
The
line.
light blue highlighted
Yeah.
section.
But what Ms. Sellers was saying was, everyone thought this was in Mount Brook because it's one parcel, is that correct?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
been one parcel since the church was built, you know, at least
So-
since then.
On the tax map, normally you would be able to click on that, and it'll be a separate sliver because it's in Homewood, but it's not broken up like that on the tax map. So what we were saying is determining the value via some form or fashion, when there's no standard to determine the value. So if anybody has a number they're thinking about, throw it out.
$10.
Alter said
That's
3.
lower than 3.
Yeah,
I said 3.
we're not selling the property, we're estimating future taxes.
It's a residential town.
See, I had this conversation when we met, please make us an offer, and I hadn't really heard anything. I thought it was kind of a little,
I mean, I'll throw something out. I mean, we'd like to move forward. I mean, this is a 10-foot strip. There's certainly value.
that's what
At the
we've
end of
already
the day,
given them, but right
we
to
end up with a
use
lot in
in
Homewood.
2022.
I mean, I think the developer would be willing to pay, you know, $10,000 to get this behind them. I mean, this is an alley that's never been opened, never been used, and never generated taxes for the city. And it will require city services to go down there to that lot if we don't de-annex it, which is, you know, fine, but there's value both ways, I think. There's value to not serving that lot. There's value to not having kids from that lot go into the school system. But, you know, there's value for my client to have it all in the same municipality.
Committee?
The current proposed development does not actually build a structure on the lot, or it does?
It does. It would have a single-family home on it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Alright,
Procedurally then, for the yellow highlighted property, which leads to the property that's in question to be de-annexed, then even though it would maintain right-of-way, can this, for the sake of Jefferson County services and other utilities, can the city of Homewood vacate that right-of-way?
De-annex, not
Yeah.
vacate. De-annex would be better than it goes with
Yeah.
the rest of it,
So we would de-annex the right-of-way,
and the parcel at the same time.
okay, because it
and
would
that's
make,
what we were trying to roll those up together last
Yeah.
week.
okay.
We're
So-
we're simply asking not to get the deed at the moment. just de-annex. We just don't wanna take a deed at the moment until we figure out whether it should just remain public right of way under someone else's jurisdiction, or whether we can take a deed to it. That's all we're asking you not to roll into this, item, is the actual conveyance of the property to us.
Okay. So, there,
I'd ask you to carry it over so we can have more discussion.
okay, so there was a offer made of 10,000 for the property, just in case the committee or the room didn't catch that. Preface.
It
I would say no.
sounded like I think my client would, but it didn't sound definitive. I mean,
No, there's an offer on the table for $10,000. Sorry, Mr. Wolverton, I didn't make that clear, you're right.
Thoughts, anybody? Members of the committee? Oh, there's only 3 of us that can discuss it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to understand the situation better, why this is not brought together concurrently. I know it's not the desire of the requester, but, I mean, I'm still trying to understand that, so, I mean, I'm still.
I think we are considering it together.
Yeah.
Both pieces. What she was saying is they just don't wanna, I guess, receive the deed now. They wanna give Mountain Brook and the county the option to accept this as right of way.
Well, quite frankly, the property that we being de-annexed is gonna have value to it. Maybe you never had it before, but it's gonna have value. Whatever the property taxes for the improvements. So we're giving up property tax
Future property tax
and
value.
real estate, the right of way.
and I guess I'm still thinking that we should do what I thought we were doing last time and carry it over, allow some legal discussions and potential offers to handle all of it together, so that we can start with a clean slate and have a clear, concise discussion on what's viable that's in front of us.
I mean, I would like to see the letter that was sent, look it all over, because, I think that's, in between not having that information that obviously exists makes it hard to progress a discussion, so I'm good with carrying it over.
Okay. Yeah, it seems that the will of the committee is to carry this item over for further discussion. So 290824 is carried over. That.
Without, objection?
I'll give you back your.
Yeah, without objection,